Hey everyone, Delphi Trading here with our weekly market report that we put out for you guys every week here on YouTube. So please like, subscribe the YouTube channel, follow us on X. We continue to just do amazing things here and continue to crush it, especially with our index forecasts. But before I look at the indexes, I have the SLV up here. We talked about the SLV last week. And, the deliveries number is coming out on this Friday. So we really need to pay attention to what's going to happen with that. But, last week we were right here on that red candle at support. And we said last week that we were expecting a bounce. So obviously that bounce has taken place. Our members here did extremely well trading this bounce. And now we're getting a little bit of a pullback here. There's a gap here, but it's hard to really put anything into gaps on the SLV because you see there's a lot of them. But we still think the moving averages here and this gap could be a launching pad to move higher. So it would not surprise us now whether this gap fills or not. The next move could be, the next big move could be higher here. Okay, so that's the SLV, and also our members, traded the GLD, which looks somewhat similar. And again, we did really well here, and we actually exited yesterday and bought back today. So again, similar to the SLV, and the market's about to close in a couple seconds. Similar to the SLV. This support here could, again, the next move could be a launching pad here. Okay, there is also, interestingly, this kind of cup and handle pattern. Okay, that is active, and now we're getting a retest. Oftentimes, many times, patterns get retested before they make the next move higher. So, again, we did get back in calls today. For our members on the GLD, we are looking for the next move here to be higher. Now, if it doesn't, and we close under this support, and this pattern could be pattern is done, then this is where our stops are. So again, you have to practice risk management. That's what we teach here at Delphi. All right, looking at the indexes, let's look at the SPY. First things first, all eyes on NVDA tomorrow, like our headline says. So this week, take these charts with a grain of salt, but it usually always plays out. So what do we have here? Well, you can see the averages now. Okay, before the averages weren't really playing a role. You can see here the SPY was just ignoring the averages. Now it looks like it's starting to pay attention to these averages, and it's kind of struggling up here. And I'm going to make this line red because now this line is resistance. Okay, so without talking about NVIDIA, our next move, we would be going lower. You can see here on the SPY, we also have a pivot lower. As crazy as that looks, we have a lower high and a lower low. But again, we'll just see what NVIDIA does. Look at the volume. Very weak volume on this bounce today. So, forecasting purposes, we are going to go lower. We think this general area up here will hold, again, unless the market takes NVIDIA and goes to the moon, okay? If the SPY gets over 690, then we could see a move back up, okay? But we're just going to go down in this general area here. Back down, we're going to go to kind of the lows down here. So technically speaking, per the chart, we're looking for the resistance to hold up here. I'm going to look at the monthly charts in a minute because you guys have to pay attention to what's going on there. Okay, Qs as well. Qs did close over the 20-day barely and this resistance line. So this would be more bullish than the SPY. And again, obviously the Qs NVIDIA is going to play a bigger role on the Qs. But if we didn't have NVIDIA to worry about, technically speaking, we would go higher. I wouldn't go too crazy, but any bounce could be capped here at the 50-day moving average. I mean, that's still 7 points away. So if it does decide to go up on the Qs, let's say NVIDIA news comes out, the earnings come out, and everyone loves it. If we do get one up here, now you have to pay attention to this 50-day, because now this could reverse here. Okay, and you can see how resistance is playing out now on the Qs. Okay, so that's the Qs. Again, I'll look at the monthly charts in a minute. We have IWM. IWM also closed over the 20-day, lower volume, and it's nearing the CCI 0 line. So again, technically speaking, I would be going higher here, up, not much higher on the IWM. But again, it could very well reverse from here, okay? The same way the Qs could very well reverse from here. So again, take these technical charts with a grain of salt, because again, NVIDIA is going to be the main event tomorrow, okay? And now let me look at the monthly charts here. I'm going to go to SPX first. I'm going to use the actual indexes over the ETF because there's no lines here. But what do we have here now in the monthly chart? This is the last week of the trading week of the month. And look what we have here on the SPX, and we'll get to the NASDAQ. We have a pivot, okay? Now, it's going to take a lot to break this pivot because there's only a couple days left. But we have a confirmed pivot on the monthly chart now, okay? So you got to be very careful here when you see pivots show up, okay? You could see back here there was a pivot. We went down. Here there was a pivot. It eventually went down. We did have a pivot a couple of months ago, and it was ignored, okay? So you can't ignore these. So just be very careful. If we do end with a monthly pivot, you have to take guard for March. Okay, the Qs, let me go to the NDX, see what's going on here. This pivot is a lot worse. Okay, we actually have a forecast line here that we put in just in case. But you can see the pivot here now. Okay, that is a very pronounced pivot. Okay, that pivot is going to stay. Okay, unless something crazy happens, but we don't see that happening. So if that pivot stays by Friday close, this could not lead into March in a good way. So you guys really, again, you need to, whether you take hedges, put protection, whatever you do, that's all we do here at Delphi. We've been doing for the past month really is playing hedges. You could see here we had a pivot, and then these two candles are spinning tops. Those are not bullish. So there are no bullish candles up here, okay, since November. And now again, we have a pivot, so you got to be very careful. Okay, to me, we could see the Qs come down. Okay, so look at the indicators below; they're still overbought. And again, just got to be very careful. Okay, we can't stress this enough on the monthly charts. Okay, and if we look at the Russell, there is no pivot here, but there is something else in the works. Okay, we have a shooting star here. Okay, you can see this shooting star candle. Again, the monthly chart. Right there is a shooting star. And past history, shooting stars have not done well. Okay, look at this big shooting star there. What happened afterwards? Down. Look at these. These are tough. I wouldn't really call those shooting stars, but borderline. And then look what happened. Okay, right down again. Okay, shooting star here. That's a really nice shooting star. And that led to 3 months lower. Okay, so IWM has a history. If a shooting star plays out by Friday, that, there is a chance the IWM is going to come down. And I do think if that happens, it will play catch up. Okay, with the other indexes. So that is it for the indexes. Also, since we're here, look at the CCI and look at the stochastic. Still way overbought, okay, on the Russell. Before we go, let's look at Bitcoin kind of as a bonus. We do think Bitcoin is going to bounce from here. We are at this kind of channel bottom. We did call the overall bottom was it last month or a couple weeks ago when we got that 60K. So we do think Bitcoin is going to start to head higher here. Okay, which channel it plays, it just depends what the price action is. Okay, but something very interesting here. If we take this price action here, okay, and mirror it to here, okay, you're going to see something very similar to what happened here. Okay, we went up, we went down, we went up, we went down, we tested the lows, and then we went up towards the channel top. Up, down, retesting those lows. And again, we think we're going to start to move higher here in Bitcoin. So we've been buying. We have a dedicated crypto portfolio with actual cryptos for our members. We have ETFs. We have treasury companies we've been buying now down here. And we continue to buy. Okay, so if you want to learn more about crypto, if you want to learn more about charts, technicals, education, options, option flows, UOA, we do it all here at Delphi. So find us, get involved, with the YouTube, with our X channel. All our links to join are there. And trust us, we are charging peanuts for all the things we're doing here at Delphi. Okay, so that is it from us. Hope you guys have a great week. Good luck trading, and we'll see what NVIDIA does tomorrow. Take care.